Hey, this is Crypto Neptune, and I wanted to do an update on Telcoin as it's been a minute. So, we're going to look at Telcoin, see how Telcoin is performing from a price perspective. And we're also going to look at community engagement metrics. So, we're going to look at how is the community feeling or how is Telfam feeling. So, we're going to look into all of that. We're going to look at some interesting information within the Tcoin Association. It's going to be brief, but something I want to draw your attention to, which you're probably already aware of. And then Brian Armstrong put out an interesting tweet, and he is the CEO of Coinbase, so you definitely want to tune in for this whole video. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital. And if you can do me a favor, give the video a like, leave any comments below, and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. So with Telcoin, we are up 16.96% over the last 24 hours. So a nice momentum swing for Telcoin. Now over the last week, we're up 39.13%. So definitely cool to see that. Volume is picking up. And we broke through that important price point of 0.002. And if you look here, we were down as low as 0.0013 and some change. And then over the last week, we've just been kind of sending. A lot of that is attributed to what is happening at the top with Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin starts pumping, it has a impact on the rest of the altcoins, and there's kind of a trickle down effect. But nice to see Telcoin trending in a positive direction. So we're going to look at some key numbers over here. Engagement is up with Telfam, so meaning anytime Telfam talks about Telcoin, there's a lot of engagement. People are engaging with that particular content. So up 786K, which is cool to see. Mentions are up 41K, so a lot of mentions of Telcoin. Creators putting out more information, so up 23K percent there. So that's nice to see there. And shouts out to these creators, these familiar faces that you're familiar with within Telfam. But everybody putting in the work. A little bit of a shift here with some sentiment, 5%. And then here's the key stuff we want to look at. Again, we already talked about the price. Market cap up 50.4 million. So this is nice to see that volume. And look at this, the volume. This is the key thing here. You got to have volume in a passionate community. So 256% swing here. So look at that volume increase. And let's look at some of these, see if we see anything interesting within here. This tweet here by Monica, she writes, by the way, the Telcoin app is working now in Switzerland. So it's nice to know that there's access there for Telfam in Switzerland. Always good to see that. So it says Tel and that Velo will have lightning pumps. They always do. So it says that's if you have a seat on the train, be patient. Yeah, I agree with that. Be patient. A lot of people are saying, well, why are you in a cycle one type of coin? So why are you in a older project, they say? Sure, you got to have diversification, but what Telcoin is trying to build from a regulated perspective and what they're trying to do with the stable coins and the digital asset bank, that's enough for me to believe in the future and what they're trying to achieve. And then, is there anything else? Yeah, Crypto Sun said this is just the beginning. So, yeah, I mean, this is some really, really positive stuff. And again, this is Lunar Crush, so feel free to come here. I love the metrics on here and the numbers as far as combining price action and also community sentiment. So now, looking at the Tcoin Association real quick, if you go there, go to forum, and if we go to, let's see if we scroll down here, the latest, and then if we go to exchanges, so this is some some interesting information here from exchange listings. And essentially, what the Tcoin Association is trying to do is get Telcoin listed on other exchanges. There has been inconsistency with KuCoin as far as them not allowing people to withdraw via the Polygon network. They've been really inconsistent, and it is definitely a shift is definitely needed to get more volume and more options for Telcoin. So as you can see here, there's an application for OKX listing. I believe they're like a top exchange in Asia, over in that part of the world, I want to say. But they're one of the top ones. Kraken is a good one here in the United States. And then crypto.com, I like its versatility because it's pretty much global. I use crypto.com a lot, and I would advocate for this one to be first because not only is it global, but they also have different initiatives. For example, there was a project that I'm heavily involved in. I bought the coin and they said, hey, if you buy X amount of coin, you could potentially win an extra amount of that particular coin. So imagine Telcoin incentives being into crypto.com or any one of these, in which they say, hey, buy $50 worth of Telcoin within the next 2 weeks. You'll be entered in a drawing to win 5,000 Telcoin, 10,000 Telcoin, 50,000 Telcoin. Those are the type of cool incentives which drive up volume on crypto.com. In fact, they can even do some stuff like that far as the Telcoin app itself. I would definitely recommend something like that. Bring back initiatives for the Telcoin app to say, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, you could stand to potentially win an extra however many Telcoin. But cool to see here. And all the work that's being done. Shout out to Tim, Parker, and everybody associated with the Tcoin Association. They're doing a lot of work, and I'm not going to get into everything that they're doing, but you can see they're hard at work, creating handbooks, talking about dedicated email domains. This is the type of structure that you need for a decentralized crypto project and for it to be in the hands of Telfam. So I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, getting over to Brian Armstrong, this is interesting. He said asset listings on Coinbase are free. Drop us a note through our asset hub and we'll see if we can help. Right? And it says, and yes, DEXs are also a great option. So he's saying here in this particular article, long story short, Simon put out a tweet and basically saying, hey, a lot of these, to get listed on a lot of these tier one exchanges is like 9 figures. And I guess Brian brought to everybody's attention and said, hey, come here to Coinbase to see what we can do. So why am I bringing this up? We have the options right now on the table of OKX, Kraken, and Crypto.com. Why not also keep in our back pocket Coinbase? So definitely would love for the Telcoin Association to keep it in the back pocket and maybe and then kind of go through those steps also. So I know it's one step at a time with any project and listing, but definitely cool to see that. So with Telcoin, we're definitely headed in the right direction. Right now we're waiting on Telcoin Bank. There's a hearing in December. Once we get the approval, then the sky's the limit with Telcoin Bank, the Telcoin stablecoins, which will be legal. The only company in the world that has legal stablecoins. There's a lot you can do with that. And then we're in the final testing stages of the Telcoin network, in which telecom providers and their subscribers will have access to that. Or anybody can build, or any merchant can build on top of the Telcoin network, build an app, connect and have access to those Telcoin digital assets. It's 110 plus digital assets. Their subscribers can have access, or their people that interact with their app can have access to those assets, and remittance transfer payments too. We got to factor that in. So There is a lot in the pipeline, but it is definitely encouraging to see a positive momentum swing for Telcoin moving back up over this mark. Leave me in the comments below far as how are you feeling with these recent proposals from the Tcoin Association? Are there other things that you have in mind far as Telcoin as a whole as a project? Leave me comments below about that. And I also mentioned far as like a price prediction. I've said it repeatedly, 10 cents as a minimum. And that's like if we get some of those initiatives, and 25 cents as a maximum target far as the top for a price prediction for Telcoin. And that is like if everything happens, there's full adoption of Telcoin, maybe some additional partners come out of the woodworks that we're not aware of, and it just absolutely sends Telcoin. This is the time right now because, this is the time right now for Telcoin and there's additional eyes on it. And my thought is that Paul Nooner and team are kind of keeping their thumb on it until it's the right time to kind of announce it. But some of those big time players, I feel, are looking at Telcoin, like the Grayscales, the BlackRocks, to name a few, which were in the same room as Telcoin during that flyover fintech, if you remember. But just wanted to point that out to you. So I hope this video provided you some value. Again, positive swing for Telcoin right now. Things are looking up for this bull run. And I want to thank you for listening, and thanks for stopping by.